The Facebook ad platform is always changing, and unfortunately the latest change is not a good one for us advertisers. In this video I'm going to explain what it is and what you need to do about it right now. So to demonstrate what this change is, I'm in an example ad account. I've just created a quick example campaign and I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the ad set level because that's where this change is taking place. If I click edit and I scroll down to the location targeting section, because this is a change affecting location targeting, where I've got locations here, it's defaulted to the United Kingdom because that's where I'm based. You'll see the same thing. But when I click on edit, you'll see that before we get into the specific targeting options down here where we can target, exclude, all that sort of stuff, we've got this option up here where you can select your location targeting type. So the default here is people living in or recently in this location, but we do have some other options to be more specific. We can select people living in this location, people recently in this location, people traveling in this location. And you can sort of understand why that would be really useful, particularly for some advertisers. If you want to target people that actually have homes in the area in which you operate, let's say you're a plumber or an electrician or something, then you definitely want to go with people living in this location. If you want to specifically target tourists, then you'd go with this option here, people traveling in this location. So there are lots of businesses where you would want to be more specific. Unfortunately, these are going away. So these three options here are going away and we're going to be left only with people living in or recently in this location, which is going to cause quite a few issues. Definitely not something that's good for us advertisers, and it's going to affect some businesses a lot more than others. I'll explain why in a second. Now you can see that in this example ad account, we still have all four options, but some ad accounts already don't have it. We're just being limited to this top one, and it's understood that over the next few weeks, maybe a few months, it takes Meta different timings to roll things out to all ad accounts. We are all going to be restricted to people living in or recently in this location. Now that's certainly not ideal, but what can you do about it as an advertiser? So let's take the example that I just discussed with the plumber electrician, where you only want to target people that actually live in a particular area because those are the only people that you can actually help. I think what you need to do is use things within your ad that make it very clear who your ad is for. So for example, you could use the call out method. If you're advertising in London, you could start your ad with Londoners, and then the rest of your ad copy. If you operate in New York, New Yorkers, Texans, wherever it is that you advertise and you want the people that see your ads to be from and in, that's what you would put in the call out method. Therefore, if someone's visiting New York and they see an ad copy start with New Yorkers, they're just gonna automatically, all right, I live in Florida, I'm just visiting, ignore, they'll scroll on. Whereas if they actually live there, they are a New Yorker, they're far more likely to pay attention to it. And those engagement signals are sort of factored into Meta's machine learning process and optimizing your campaigns, and they'll realize what's going on and put your ads in front of people that are engaging with them, which are going to be people that actually live in that location. You can also do a similar thing with the ad creative. So you could put some text on your ad creative, on your image, in your videos, specifically calling out the people that you want to reach based on where they live, where they are located. That would be a way of doing this. And remember, that's going to be more important if you operate somewhere where there are a lot of tourists, there are a lot of people traveling in and out. So examples like London, New York, where people do come in and out in their millions every single year. You don't want to be a plumber advertising to someone that lives in a different country or a different part of the country simply because they just visited New York recently. That's not going to work out for your business. So call out method is really going to help with that. If you happen to operate somewhere that is far less of a tourist destination, this is going to be less of an issue in general. You may want to experiment with using the call out method to specifically identify the people that you want to reach in your ad, but it's probably not as necessary as it is with those more tourist heavy traveler destinations. And likewise, you can do the reverse. So if you only want to advertise to people that are visiting a particular area, you could literally start your ad copy with visiting New York, ? And then whatever your offer is specifically for those people. So this is a trend we're seeing with Facebook and Instagram ads, is that as we are losing detailed targeting options, now location targeting type options, we are having to shift more and more of our messaging to the ad level that we can no longer take care of at the ad set level with targeting and things like that. So we're going to have to get more and more clever with our ad copy, with our ad creative. That's where you're going to have to differentiate yourself as a Facebook advertiser, because the ad set side of things is becoming more and more homogenized, and this is just another example of that. So there are a couple of other really important points around this update. Before I get into that, I just want to quickly let you know about a free webinar I've created called 3 Killer Facebook Ad Strategies to Double or More Your Revenue. And in this webinar, webinar, I go through 3 sales funnels that we use for our clients all the time. They are very much proven, very much tried and tested. We've generated millions of dollars with each. And if you don't have the right strategy with your Facebook and Instagram ads, basically nothing else matters. You have to get that right first, and then everything else comes into play. So if you want to find out more about this webinar, watch it. It's completely free. There is a link in the video description. You can go ahead, click on that and watch it right now. It's about 45 minutes long. I think you'd be really glad that you went through it, get the strategy right, then you can move on to other stuff. So why are Meta doing this?
Why?
Why are they removing location targeting options? Why have they taken some of the other steps to curtail targeting options? Surely more targeting options, more flexibility is better for us advertisers, and it is. The reason why is because they don't want to appear creepy to their users. They don't want their users to feel like Facebook is tracking whether you actually live somewhere or you're just visiting somewhere. That gets a little bit creepy. That crosses a line for some people. There are privacy concerns there. Whereas if they're just targeting people in a specific area, we can't tell who's living there, who's visiting, all that sort of stuff, then there are less issues, Meta feels, from a PR standpoint, let's say. And I do think it's good for Meta to be making these changes ahead of what will likely be government legislation or external forces that would come in and enforce some of this stuff to curtail targeting options. It's better that they get ahead of the game and do it themselves. So I think it's good for the platform, even if it's not good for us as advertisers in the short run. I don't think this trend is going to stop. I think we're going to continue to see our targeting options and delivery options reduced. As I said, the way to stand out with your Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns going forward is going to be in the offer and the ad creative, targeting, delivery, all that sort of stuff is going to become a lot more homogenized amongst advertisers. And there is another huge Facebook ads change right around the corner. It's being caused by everything that's going on with TikTok right now. I discuss what's likely to happen in this video here. I'd strongly recommend you give it a watch.